today I've got a new project I'm going to do. I'm going to wet felt fabulous fleece from Hebridean U, and this is very lovely long wool, well holding together fleece. It's a fantastic blanket. I've looked at the other side and removed all the pieces of grass and leaves and everything else, but more will come out due course of the felting, in due course of washing. And for the backing, I will use this gorgeous Shetland. It's super kind of lovely brown, gray, black mix with all sorts of shades really, and it's super soft and easy to felt. So I'm going to start from the backing by removing any beads of loose wool which might have been sheared twice, just little pieces like this, and I'm checking if there's any splits in wool. This blanket seems to be really good. I've removed the sides. I had some pieces that were just, tail pieces and leg pieces which are hanging around. But sometimes you can have a blanket that literally split in between a hole. It's not a big deal. It's quite common, and all you can do is take the needle, take the thread and stitch it to join two pieces together. It will not be noticeable in the felting, but it will help you a great deal. Issue is several splits. You can see that they are during shearing. Fleece came apart in few places. So before you start felting, these places need repairing, and to repair it, take the needle and a thread and simply stitch it literally in and out. Just go stitch it. So there is a split and I'm stitching it. I don't go particularly deep into this part, just go by a couple centimeters, like half an inch. And that is how I prepare fleece before felting. When I have splits like this, there's like, here's one, this one, this one, that one. So all of these will need stitching. You can try and felt without, nothing wrong with that, but it might have a felted gap, which will not be great on your rug. So you will have a felt backing going through, that there will be no wool. So that makes your life much easier. So yeah, just go around, pick those beads and join the blanket tight together so it will not be hung anywhere. So it will help your felting. So you don't want your blanket with wool stretched out, you want it a little bit tighter. So make sure that's all gonna be nice and neat on another side, that there is no any gaps, nothing missing. Yes, and remove any loose beads and pieces, any grass, straw, whatever might be there. And the first layer of your felted backing, you will need to put thinly in one direction, and then when you finish the first layer, put the second one. That's what I'm gonna do now. And another tip, use slightly different color to your original blanket, because it will help you to see if you felted, if you put the layers of your backing everywhere evenly, so there is no gaps in felting. So if you would like a blanket, I've got Icelandic and I've got Hebridean. I've got some others well in white color. Yeah, that's my baby on background. Then yes, message me. I've got spare blankets that I'm selling, so yes, no problem there. And if you need the backing, I've got nice prepared, well prepared Shetland, Jacob, Cheviot, Zwobel, I think as well I did. So yeah, in different colors, different wool, which is all ready to go in your felting. So please message me and I will sort out for you a blanket and the backing wool. But yeah, when you have something ready, it's easier. Because I did before from raw wool backings, which is great, but it takes much more time, believe me. I finished first layer of backing wool and it's all goes in the direction. Now I will do the same but across, so the layers I'm doing are very thin, very fine, and they all go across to form second layer. So this way I will do 6 times 6, and then I will spray it with soapy water, warm soapy water, and I will spray it enough to soak through right to the table, and I will show it to you later. It's 3 episodes of Downton Abbey down, and I've got 6 layers of Shetland wool, carded Shetland wool on the fleece, and now it is time to spray. So I just mix dishwashing fairy liquid with very hot water in a spray bottle, so I hope it works, and I need to get some air out, and I mist spray all over the wool. I do indoors in winter because any wind and all this fluff will be up. On the floor I've got protection for the rug, but even if it gets a little soaking wet on the floor, I can dry it out. So I'm trying to spray from very top down, because if I spray at the angle, the water will push the fluff up, just about like this. So you see, it was already wet here, but when it pushed, it moved the wool, so it's not a good idea. So do from the top down, so all your fluff will be even as you laid it first. And spray thoroughly. So now, when I have finished the spraying part, I've got this piece of bubble wrap, and important moment, the bubbles of the wrap go on the wool side. So just put it down to cover the entire lot of your wool. And when you put it down, start working from the middle, gently pressing wool down, so that water which sits on the top will soak in under your fingers. So gently press. It will take some time, but you don't want to, when you're rubbing or scrubbing or anything else at this point, you don't want to move the wool, you just want it to soak through. So gently press. As you press down, you will see that the water with bubbles of soap in it goes under the bubble wrap in every direction. So your goal is to keep pressing, that what is soft and fluffy becomes solid and firm under your palm. So when you have finished with pressing, you should be able to take the plastic bubble wrap away, and then you will have surface like this, because some of the places are still quite spongy, not particularly fat. I can add extra water and press them down. Because fluff already started to felt in, I don't need extra precautions, so I'm using just empty old fairy liquid bottle. I added about 2 tablespoons of fairy for half liter. No, it is 383 milliliters, but you don't really have to be precise with soap. You just add it on, that it is a soap that can be soap like which can form a leather foam. So, and you can pour over that humps and bumps where was not enough water, where wasn't enough penetration through the layers of the wool. Just pour it over. Or another good way, if you have a small watering can, you can mix the soap and the water and pour over with a watering can. I'm not particularly afraid to make floors wet because I've laid some cardboard and some material that will absorb this excess of water, because yes, water will drip on the floor. But I can't work outside because it's A, cold, B, I have a newborn baby to look after, and it might be very windy, so when you start working you don't want your fluff to be lifted up by wind. So you're done the pouring, cover again with your bubble wrap. And keep working on those places that need extra penetration. And you can see the bubble wrap had some places that were pierced previously, and the soap is coming, which actually will help me with next stage. Keep pressing. If your bubble wrap doesn't reach quite some places, like here it could be a bit more and there it could be a bit more, is nothing wrong. We're just taking it off, lifting and covering that place and working on that very place. But it is as long as when you're finished and beneath finish is solid, that it's not moving anymore, the fluff as much, that it's not gonna stick to the bubble wrap. So you keep working. This is already actual felting, because when you press like this, these little hooks on the wool will catch each other and they start to work and felt. Because this agitation and ever, yes, we press only from the top, we're not rubbing anything yet, but this is already an agitation, and this will help to felt. So you can see I can move some water where it's not quite enough. I can move it from the places where it's quite a bit, and I can see that it's moving with the soap. The soap is pushed under the bubble wrap. So just keep doing like this till it's all totally flat and not as spongy. A lot of pressing down, and I feel that it's about time to start rubbing down the wool so it will shrink. You can see this is pretty flat. So when I say rubbing down, I mean if you lay this plastic back, you don't have to have this massive piece. You can just work with a smaller piece of plastic. It's just you'll have to move it about quite a bit. So you can already start a loop just like this, gently, really gently, and this will create like a swivel on the surface. You can rub by hand in gloves or without gloves, but I use this bubble wrap because it has these bubbles, but when I rub these bubbles, it helps to move the fibers, it helps to agitate them, so it's more comfortable. But as I say, you don't need massive piece of plastic, and I would probably work with massive piece of plastic. I'll just take a corner of it that I can use, and I start moving gently but firmly. I don't know, it's a medium where you don't move the fibers, but at the same time you apply the pressure. I work with backing from Shetland fleece, which is good for felting. So there is numerous fleeces that are good for felting, but this one I tried and I know that this definitely gonna work for me. So yeah, keep on moving. I can create silhouettes if you want. It doesn't matter in which direction you look. The thing is just to keep on going till you feel that it's really catching, and eventually you will see that the fleeces from this big become a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. And there are other stages, of course, but we will discuss them a bit later. So I've been rubbing it for about an hour, and my tip to you, if you have any issues with your back as I do, use some support belt because it's a lot healthy. When you stop rubbing it gentle, you will stop to rub it gentle when you start to feel that the fleece is shrinking, and it's like pinch test. You pinch it and suddenly some of the fibers come out, and it's not the time to finish felting, it is the time to protect your fluffy edges. So I've got this some fluff sticking out, and what I will do, I'll just bend it in under the table, sorry, not under the table, under the fleece, so it's no longer sticking out, because I will start to rub very vigorous, apply a lot of pressure, and I don't want these loose ends to felt. So I just go around and I sort of lay them underneath so they don't stick out, then they will be protected from felting, and it will help you to feel free to rub more intense and apply more pressure. Just all over that fleece of yours. In, because the layer of this backing wool is no longer moving, you can do this now. So smooth it down. It would be more helpful if I had this table a bit forward in the middle of the room, but I can't do it in the middle of the room because I need to look after the baby and do things in between, so I have to have an access without anything on my way. But I hope you have a bit bigger place to work and that it will be more accessible for you. Okay, so done it now, and this is the time for you to apply more pressure and more energy and burn more calories. From the edge, right from the edge to center. And you will see that this bubble, like a raised piece of wool, forms now. Eventually it will literally felt in and shrink, so there will not be any looseness. It will be very, very firm. So evenly go around your project and apply pressure from the edge to center. And as you've done one corner, take care of the edge. Move that. You see some wool sticking out. Put it back in and work on this edge. fleece like this might take up to, I don't know, from start to finish, I don't know, expect about 7 hours of work. So don't have to do it all in one go. Take breaks, take time to have coffee still, just to walk about, have a stretch exercise, do your homework, leave it and come back to it. If it feels a bit too dry, add in extra water. When you leave, just cover it with plastic, or if you don't have plastic left to cover, just add in, refresh it with water and keep working. It's rather take your time and do it properly, otherwise it will just fall apart when you wash it. Funny. So soft. That's so funny, honestly. Because I kind of struggling to reach that side, what I will do, I will move the plastic, will go around, yeah, and then I'll be able to reach the side that couldn't before. So I've got this board which goes under the fleece, because there is two tables joining together, the dining table and a table like a bench. So just put it underneath. It gives me extra firmness in the gap, and I carry on working this side. As you might have noticed, I don't have any specialist equipment, any super duper tool designed for felting. All I've got, some tables, bubble wrap and soap, well, and water of course, and I do it indoors in a living room, and yes, a lot of cleaning involved afterwards, but that's life. So I am at the stage where I want to apply pressure from the center to the edge, and I want to sort of try and shrink it a little bit more, because it's now already good, but I really want more. So I fold it over and I do like this. So when I do like this, the side here bends. You can see it creates a bend, and I move it and the bend goes all over, so this will shrink the wool more. I'm holding on a long fleece, but I don't agitate my hands, so this is not gonna tangle the long locks. Sorry, it's like 10:30 p.m. and I'm tired and I want to finish this video today. But tomorrow is a new day and another work project should gonna go. And the same I do with that side, towards myself, and then I roll sort of away from myself. I pull and roll and shrink it and shrink it. This week weather should be nice and dry. So when I wash this wool, the fleece, it will be washed in wheelbarrow and left dry outside, and when it's dried out I can brush it. I'll all squeeze in this video so you will see it. And again, move it around, and then I start working on this side, shrinking it this way. This yellow stuff what you see is gonna wash out. It's literally dye from when the ram went on back with its ewe and impregnated her. So the dye is going on the chest of the ram, on the belly, so we see when ewes are pregnant, that not pregnant but been mated. And when all ewes like these with the color, and the yellow is really well visible on the black wool, then we can remove the rams from sheep, from ewes in a separate field, and pregnant ewes just have 5 months before they have lambs. Some people do scan, some people don't, but yeah, it's a good indicator that you know when you had the ram in and when the ram done the job. And then like these, and the same I'll do now from here forward. So this is a little easier than if you were to roll the fleece with a plastic over it, roll it in a tube, then wrapping it and rolling like this. It's exactly the same thing, but I think it's a bit easier and gives you sort of a little bit more control what is done, what is not, because you can literally feel it being tough. I try to round it up, so I try to sort of move those which are too long ends a bit more to create it a bit more round shape. I think it will look better if it's more round or a bit more square. But yeah, it's up to you. You can do all shapes and sorts you want. It's just to navigate the wool which way it should shrink. So the key is, the more you do it, the more dense it becomes, more shrinkage. So keep on going. Like when I pick up now wool, some of the places I can pick up just about some, and I'll work more on that. Some of the places it's really already, that's it. There's not much you can pick. But yeah, another 2 hours maybe of doing this rubbing about, and yeah, it can go into washing about 2 hours I think. So yeah, let's keep doing. Just to reassure you that nothing stuck. It might look very sort of felted in, but it's not. So just to show now, before I carry on. So when I, in the beginning of the video, was lifting this fleece, it was literally lying on the table and then it was covering me. So now is how much I have shrunk the fleece. You can see it's major difference. So about 20% from each side just gone, and I think we can do a bit more to toughen up the edges. But yes, this is what you want, that you go about with your hands and nothing happens. No movement of any fibers, no holes, no loose gaps or anything. You just literally freely poking about, and there is no any disturbance of the backing of this fleece. That's what you want to see. So this video will continue after a cup of coffee. I am almost finished with the felting, but I want to show you another thing that you can do to help yourself to felt more dense, more properly, and it is like squishing in entire thing, like bringing it in together. You can see that the soap comes dirty, so this soap helps to wash through as well the fluffy side, the wool side. So keep on squishing, and it will make everything more dense. By the way, it is a second day that I'm doing this fleece. So I started yesterday, then I worked till about midnight, so that was 7 hours, and now I refreshed it with hot water. I just literally sprinkled hot water, well, half sprinkled, poured more than anything, really hot water like this to warm it up, because hot water helps. And that's what I do now. I don't want to do any rolling this pin, you know, like rolling the entire thing, because I absolutely don't see the need in this case. If I was doing flat something, like, you know, flat rag, not the fluffy on another side, yes, I will roll, but this is not the situation now. I don't want to really impact anyhow this fluffy side, and rolling might slightly felt more than actually you want. So yeah, I actually can feel the difference, and you can see the size has changed, really changed. This is probably the most effective action that I'm doing, is the most effective in terms of felting, because the finish here becomes really dense. And yes, you can do this way, flat felting as well, just several layers of wool without fluffy sides, just literally on the plastic on the bottom wrap, and felt all the same. And yeah, you can do fabrics for your clothes, jackets, anything. So after all, I think this will take about 10 hours from start to finish, including the washing and the brushing out afterwards. But we will see. On the backing, weight wise, I spent 200 grams of Shetland. So the actual fleece, I don't know how much weight was that. I didn't weigh dirty weight because there's no point. But when I post it, I will have to weight the rag and see what is the final weight for postage cost. But yeah, the backing 200 grams. So if you do some similar project for one adult size, full size fleece, look at about 200 grams of backing. In the beginning of this video I said that I do have some backing prepared and fleeces to felt, so if you would like some, be my guest, message me. So in here. washing will be again hot water. So finished with this part now. And next thing I will show is washing. The fleece goes in the water, and I just dunk this fleece in the hot tap water. You can see how much dirt comes out. Oh god, yeah, there's a lot of dirt on here. So I will have to change water several times. But yes, all the loose fibers are still loose. That's the plan. And I'll just keep changing water till everything is completely clean. But for now, I'm gonna leave this wool to soak a little bit, because if anything solid in the fibers that needs extra time, like this paint, you see that what told you about the ram doing the job. This needs a little bit of extra time to get wet and dissolve. So yeah, it stays here, and then I will wash to the clean and put it dry right on the fence. Is all felted. As you can see, this is felted side, all nice and lovely. And now I've got this cattle brush. You can use if you have a dog brush, but it's better cattle brush because the teeth are plastic and they are coated all over and they're not particularly close together. And all you do is just give it nice brush, which will remove if there is any vegetable matter, and which will fluff it up. Whilst I'm doing that, I'll just leave it here for a moment, because this morning I went to the local woods and I want to show you something. The local woods is literally down the driveway. I was taking eggs down and picking up this bean which is we're using for baby nappies. And look at that! Mushrooms, forest mushrooms, amazing! So I'm gonna go there again. So yes, but let's go back to rag. So as I said, that'll brush. Give it nice brush. I've got several sheep fleeces like this, so you can order me a felted rag if you would like. Yeah, I'll have to go in a minute to the sheep shed, so I do it a very quick video because just to show you the idea. So, and what was sort of a little bit felted on the middle, or it looked like it is not. It's actually all great. There you go. I'll finish it a little later because I need to do the sheep. I need to dose the sheep. But yes, as a part of my workshop, I promised you to show the finished rag and how we finish it all together. So there it is. I don't know which way better, but this is a rag. The grass is almost clean.